episode 72. We're ready to kick it in, and I already saw, watching the chat here, that there's a question. Got a question from Frustrated Dad. And Frustrated Dad asks, what is the best travel amplifier, practice amplifier? You can't go wrong with the Boss Katana. I think he got the Mini over there, Paul, and I think he really likes it a lot. And the Boss stuff it's hard to beat, man, at that price. So, man, I'm glad to be here with everybody tonight. It's an epic episode, and Lone Wolf, Shane, Paul is moderating right now. Erickson is a brand new moderator. We want to welcome him and thank him for joining the fold to fill in for, when guys can't make it and all that and help out. And he's been such a great supporter of the channel. We want to thank him so much. And so Dave is moderating as well, Paul and Erickson. And we've got Rhonda here tonight, so that means the party has officially started. So I'm going to go ahead and crack open a Red Bull. I just want to start right out of the gate by saying David Lee Roth at Coachella. Did anybody see that? What did you guys think of that? So David Lee Roth gets up with a guy named Teddy Swims, who I have no idea who this Teddy Swims looks like. A pop version of Jelly Roll. He's this giant guy with a bad haircut and tattoos on his face and all over his body, and he's built like Jelly Roll before the weight loss. And Roth is doing Jump with Teddy Swims, and it's cool that David Lee Roth gets to go out there in his black and white pants and his leather vest and go out there and do Jump. It's it's a heartwarming thing for us Gen Xers and boomers out there to see the old guy get up. But it still makes me go, I mean, would David Lee Roth at his prime, would he have gone out there looking like Teddy Swims? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. What do you guys think about this? It just why is Teddy Swims a rock star? Why are these people like elevated to this status? I don't get it. I'm waiting for the current generation to show me something, show me somebody that's amazing and I can get behind and I can get into it. And it's like whatever. I mean, bringing Roth out was cool, so I got to salute Teddy Swims. But man, seeing a dude performing in a blue bathrobe is just not my thing. But man, I'm glad to have everybody here. People are seeing Rhonda has tears because David Lee Roth is her favorite. And look, man, I think we all idolized David Lee Roth, coming up. And, it's sad to see people getting old. We're all getting old, right? What's going on with this, man? But, here's the deal. I got my first sip of Red Bull tonight. I've got some ad pop-up thing here. Let's see if I can get rid of it without destroying my thing. Man, I don't know, man. I'm flying blind right now, everybody. Oh, there we go. Oh, Hillbilly Hank, thank you so much. Velvet Hammer strikes again. Yes. And Tobias, thank you so much. Let's go, man. I'm so glad I was able to get the chat up again, man. So Velvet Hammer, I put out the theme song for Velvet Hammer, the Velvet Hammer song, and it's up on the channel for everybody to watch. And as some of you may know, I'm working on a thing called Velvet Hammer Club, and it's going to be a higher level of membership. And I've really only just started getting material ready for that. I plan on doing a comprehensive course on bass, making a bass part funk feel funky, and teaching guitarists, people that most of the people that watch my channel are guitar players, teaching you how to think like a funk bassist, right? But also, I'll be delving into funky guitar parts, groove, and how all of that applies to all music. All music should feel good. All music needs to have the nuances of feel and all that. So this is going to be the Velvet Hammer Groove System. It's going to be a whole course. So right now, all that's up for the Velvet Hammer, for the first people to sign up right now, is a brand new Velvet Hammer song, and there's a brand new Velvet Hammer video about the groove, right? But I need to just, I think I'll probably be able to work a lot on it this week, but it takes a lot more time to do a Velvet Hammer video than it does. Believe it or not, it takes a lot of work tweaking on the script. I gotta have moments where I can go off script, but also the playing part. Playing funk bass. Now, y'all know mostly I'm a guitar player, right? But and man, I keep getting these pop-up ads on here, dude. This is insane. So I'm flying blind sometimes with these questions, but man, I plan on doing a lot of work on this groove system and providing backing tracks for people to groove to, teaching the Velvet Hammer bass lines, which are simple bass lines. If I can play it on bass, it's simple. But the feel, teaching you how to feel, how to think about those notes, have that Bootsy Collins flavor to your playing, and it'll help you as a guitarist or any instrument that you want to play to improve your groove and feel. So that's coming up. And so, man, we've got there he goes. Slow says he's up for some funk investigation. That's what it's going to be, man. It's going to be funk investigation. And here's the thing: learning does not have to be boring. Learning can be fun, and that's my whole idea behind the Velvet Hammer groove system. It's going to be the Velvet Hammer teaching you groove, teaching you licks, teaching you about the notes on the neck, and for bass and guitar. So it's going to be an ongoing thing that I'm going to add to. Now, eventually, the Velvet Hammer videos will trickle down to all the other members, and then eventually probably come out on the channel. If not, maybe not all of them, but most of them will. But for now, I've got to build this thing up, right? So for now, anything Velvet Hammer's going into Velvet Hammer Club, and eventually it'll work its way down. Right, here's the thing. Oh man, Gregory, thank you so much. Does Velvet Hammer always only use one take? And also, will Miss Cream Cheese make another guest appearance? Well, yes. Yes, I'm sticking with the female vocals. And so the track, Gregory, thank you so much for that donation. Very, very kind, dude. You're a huge supporter of this channel. And Gregory from Texas, dude, you friggin' rock. You friggin' rock. I'm using the same method to get a R&B female voice, right? I'm using AI, right, to get these voices. The bass playing is all analog. The guitar playing, if there is some in there, is all me playing. The rest, the drum machines and the synths and all that stuff, I'm playing along with these manufactured tracks. But man, it's working out to be a great method of doing this music. I can't afford to hire Victor Wooten and Keith Carlock and all these guys to do tracks like that. And so, man, I'm able to create these Velvet Hammer like songs. And here's the interesting thing: the new Velvet Hammer song that's up for the Velvet Hammer Club, I'm actually doing some vocals on that as well with the R&B vocal. So I'm doing the Bootsy Collins style vocals on that. Man, I'm getting so many pop-ups now on my YouTube thing here. So we got Canadian drummer here tonight. He's in Nova Scotia via Toronto. Awesome. J-Pat says the Velvet Hammer always comes and crashes on my couch. He says it's his. Well, you see, J. Pat, if you let the cat in, it's gonna think it lives there. That's how it works. How about some right said Fred? I'm too sexy. K Dog, that's a funny one. Dude, when I was out in Hollywood and my day gig was working at this boutique hotel in West Hollywood, Right Said Fred was staying at the hotel at the height of their fame. And they were a wild bunch. It was the two brothers, right? And two muscle guys, and they were an amusing bunch, man. I saw some interesting things going on, but they were funny, man. They were nice guys, and they were probably there for about 4 days, 4 days in LA. So that was cool, man. I've got the awesome Mike P. Funk says he's got the show audio playing on his Bose speaker. It sounds huge, dude. So this is the Polar Go. A lot of people were confused by the Polar Go video today. And, the audio of my voice right now is being picked up by the Polar Go. It's got two little stereo mics in it. And then the modeler, which I have set to go in case I want to do some playing or whatever later, that has a direct line out into the Polar Go. So the Polar Go's got built-in stereo mics and an input for a mic. So it's essentially stereo vocal and an instrument plug-in. So that's what I'm using. And let's see what somebody says. Was Plant a cool dude? Though if you're talking about Robert Plant, the time that I met Robert Plant at that hotel, he was a total gentleman. Robert Plant was like towering over me with his 6'2" blonde model girlfriend, and I gave him directions to the 101. I've told that story before. Yeah, Right Said Fred, Shauna. Yeah. Yeah, Robert Plant is tall, dude. Like this was the height of my time in Hollywood, but he was I was remember looking up to him like, oh, and his date was tall too. It was kind of like, yeah, if you want to go to the 101, you just go down Melrose and it'll be on the right hand side. So yeah, Robert. So dude, this is the kind of stuff that would happen in this hotel. All kinds of rock stars: Bowie, Prince, Robert Plant, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. All three of those guys. Let's see who else: George Clinton, El DeBarge, Isaac Hayes, and then Brat Packers like Shannon Doherty and Judd Nelson and Patsy Kensit, who was in the Lethal Weapon movies, who was married to is it Liam from the Oasis? She was married to him at one point. Man, that hotel was full of celebrities, dude. It was because it was a little hidden boutique hotel, and it was tied to La Hermitage and a bunch of other hotels in that area. There were all these guys. The funny story about George Clinton staying there, I would often work like early Sunday mornings would be my shift. For a while there, I was working just part-time, like 2 days a week. Enough money to pay my $100 rent in the tool shed out in the valley. And I remember going in early Sunday morning. I mean, I'd have to get up at like 5 and drive across the valley and go to West Hollywood. And I'm at my desk outside. I had a little bell desk, and let's just say a connoisseur of smokables, of accelerant smokables, came up to my thing and go, I need to see George. And so I said, oh, okay, come with me. And I went to the front desk and I said, this young lady would like to speak with George Clinton. And so they rang the room, and she was, twitching and clucking and, doing all this. And he said, yeah, set up. So I went up. I said, please escort this young lady to the room. So she goes up to the room. He lets her in the room and all that. So yeah, that was just typical stuff going on there, dude. It was always stuff like that. Shredding, it was the accelerant. Yeah, it was the accelerated. So that was not a good thing, shredding, but that's how wild things were. Yeah, I see nothing and hear nothing. That's that dude all the time. There'd be stuff like that going on, and you just go about your business. Well, probably now, if stuff like that was going in a hotel, they might like do something. But man, as long as these people were paying their tabs, it was a West Hollywood boutique hotel hidden in between two big streets, and that's what was going on. Oh, we got our first guest of the evening. Here we go, Scott Petrie. What's happening, brother? What do you got?
Hi, Bowser.
Yes, you've got Bowser. That's absolutely amazing. What do you want to tell the people today?
Guys, like and subscribe, but
Like and subscribe, and then what else?
But did you know that Bowser has a brother and a sister?
Okay, that's very good.
You were supposed to be eating your croissant.
Yeah, you're supposed to both eat your croissant. Here. All right, you guys, bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, that was that part of the show. That was that. Where impish little centaur is saying, he's asking about Paul. Okay, let's see. Who else? Yes, out back of the roadhouse, they got some bungalows. Yeah, man. So that's about a roadhouse up in the Hollywood Hills. That line in that Doors song. What a cool place that would have been. That would have been interesting. So give Mia an open. She is just like her dad. Yeah, Mia's already she already knows how to do this probably better than all of us combined. So, and the Roadhouse, from what I understand, is not there. The main thing that's still there in Laurel Canyon is that little Laurel Canyon general store, a little country store where Morrison would get his food and his beer. That store, I believe, will probably always be there. Steve Barker, he says he hopes Ace busts in. Yeah, he's out there barking right now, and that's about as much as he's going to have. So Scott Petrie says Robert Plant was definitely a down to earth fella. Yeah, he is, man. Mike H is here. We've got our other moderator here tonight. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Mike. I always like to see Mike H here, man. And everybody, look, man, we support everybody here. So, man, if you make a friend here, make sure that you subscribe to everybody's channels. It helps everybody else out. That store is just a walk down from the mansion, right? Rick's place. CLM, I don't know which Rick's place you're talking about, but I know where Morrison used to live. He could literally just walk around the corner and the store was right there. So what a perfect. But here's the thing, man. If you live in Hollywood, every corner had a liquor store on it, right? P-Funk, anywhere you were, you could pretty much walk down a block and get a bottle of something. When I lived in Hollywood, right next to the Roosevelt Hotel, which is the big hotel there, I lived right on Sycamore, and there was a liquor store right across the street, and that's where I would get my beer. And so, and up and down the strip, you had two Gil Turners, right? And Mr. Cheswick is here. I believe he's in England. Went for a few beers with my brother today, dude, and we got on the topic of Spotify. Is it worse now for artists money-wise than it was back in the day? Any thoughts, dude? Mr. Cheswick, I'm so glad to have you here. Man, I just don't see, it's not even worth, I don't even look at my Spotify earnings or anything. It's like pointless, dude. It's completely pointless. I would rather put out music on YouTube. I would rather play my instrument and let you guys see me playing over a track than spend all that time putting out an album and it just goes out in Spotify and you lose your ass. I would much rather do that. So that's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing. Worked at Gil Turner's. Yes, P-Funk worked at Gil Turner's on Sunset with Johnny D back in the day. Yes, P-Funk. And so P-Funk, I've got footage of me and P-Funk at the Shock House. And I got to figure out how I'm even going to be able to put it on YouTube. It's probably going to have to go to the Patreon page or something. I don't know. I guess I'll have to put a censored version up on YouTube, and maybe for members only or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but man, to see me and P-Funk when we were both young bucks. Watch out, ladies. You're going to love that. You're going to love to see it. So I did a video today, and I haven't put it out on the channel yet, but it's a video talking about the 2 out of 3 albums that I played on with Colt Ford. And I'll show you these records. Here is Colt Ford, Declaration of Independence. There's that album. It's got the liner notes inside. It's got pictures of the band. There's me right there in that shot. And it's got the credits for the songs. And so I talk about in that video, and I just thought people might find it interesting and see my name next to Dan Huff on a track, I believe on this one, and then a track on this one where I'm basically playing with Keith Urban on the track, and to talk about how those sessions went down, and just a little interesting, perspective on what it was like to be a touring musician, which usually touring musicians don't play on the sessions. But in this case, and this is the peak. I really feel that was the peak of what Colt Ford was doing. Now, he's still out there doing it. He's still putting out music and kicking ass and being successful and all that. But man, it was like Dirt Road Anthem had just blown up on the charts. And and look, man, I'll show you. What do I got, Rick? I just pull this down. Here's an older plaque. This is a gold record here, Bad Brad Henderson, and that's how my credits are written on the album. There's a couple more of them here, but you get the idea. So before I started this episode, I saw this in the closet. Now, can you guys see this? This was a tour poster for the last tour I did with Colt Ford. This is the 2014 Universal Tour. Colt Ford. There's Colt. There's the drummer as Princess Leia. There's the fiddle player. And now guess which guy I am. I'm Chewbacca. So Bad Brad was Chewbacca on the road. That's my image there. There's Paul Chapman, the bass player, and that's the other guitar player. And I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. I have a lot of stuff like this that I don't even. It's folded up. I probably need to get this in a frame and take care of stuff like this. This was on our tour laminates. This was the tour laminate. There would always be something funny on the tour laminates. And I just thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing that. But man, that video talking about those recording sessions, that video is coming up on the channel. That'll be available for members soon. And yeah. P-Funk, you're too kind, brother. You're too kind. Look, man, here's the deal. and I talk about it in the video, dude. That would have probably, with any other act that I would have gotten hired for, none of that stuff would have happened. Now, have I had other experiences in the studio? Yes. But I wouldn't have gotten all without Colt Ford, dude. I wouldn't have put like a nice sort of what would you say, a bow on the end of my touring and spotlight Nashville stuff. But here's the thing, man. There were days where I made more money just being home. So it's like you go and do those things, and it looks good on your resume, and it makes for interesting topics when you guys are asking me about playing with these different artists and these different experiences, and showing you these artifacts. It's a credit. It shows you that I'm not full of shit, and what I'm telling you is for real. But man, I'm lucky. I'm lucky, dude. That many hours for low bucks, Iron Man. That's the bottom line. And here's the thing. Scott says Spotify pays about $45K for 1 billion streams. Yeah, dude. How in the hell am I going to get 1 billion streams? It's just not going to happen. Yes, P-Funk, it was inevitable that I was going to be Chewbacca. But you know what? I remember when I was a kid and I watched Star Wars, Chewbacca was my favorite character. Nobody messes with Chewbacca, dude. Nobody messes with him. So, Mad Hatter, what's happening? Glad to have you here. It's more about the experience. Yes, Kakoman. All of those things were experiences, man. And you can't take that away, dude. Here's the deal, man. I'll give you guys the inside scoop. I met my wife on the damn tour bus. And can you guess what I was doing when I met my wife on a tour bus? My wife is saying this. She says, I thought you were crazy. Dude, here's me, Chewbacca Bad Brad, with the beard and the long hair. And I'm chugging whiskey straight out of the bottle. Tell them this story.
I'm not getting on camera.
My wife won't get on camera because she's been cleaning all day. But tell them, what did you think when you saw me on the tour bus?
I thought you were like a biker because
I look like a biker, dude.
You looked crazy, and then you friended me on Facebook, and then you kind of just were there in the background until, I don't know, one day you started like commenting on my stuff and talking to me. And then
I think you were talking to me. You were telling me, she would tell me, oh, I'm coming to Nashville. Oh, and I'm like, okay. And then she'd say, I'm coming to Nashville. And then I'd never hear another thing. Like, I'm like, well, I'm here, whatever.
Until, and then when I was actually I was in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And I said to you texted me, and then you were like, oh, can I call you or something? And I was like, oh, I'm with my boyfriend. We're going to a Christmas party. And you said, I'll call you after the party. I'm like, I'm with my boyfriend. You're like, yeah, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, I didn't care, right? I didn't care. So look, man, it doesn't get much more rock and roll than that.
I don't know.
It's not like me chugging whiskey on the bus. Was I in rock and roll mode?
You were like,
and that was
beast mode.
I was in beast mode, and let me tell you something. I was in beast mode probably about 4 out of 7 days a week. That was probably what, a Friday.
Yeah.
That was probably a Friday.
When we did eventually hang out, you had cut your hair some.
Oh yeah, I was off the road at that time. I was no longer in I was on occasional beast mode.
Yeah,
it's a total different thing.
Now.
No, it was shorter than that. It was probably about right around in here. Yeah,
I
it was
don't know.
shorter. Okay, get out. You be gone.
Yeah, I'm going to be gone.
Okay,
Oh,
Road
what?
Warrior in beast mode. Yeah, I was showing them that tour poster.
Oh.
Yeah, I was showing them that because I did a video today about studio playing with Colt Ford in the studio and doing all that.
You should tell them about the person that came to see our house.
Oh,
and thought-
oh my God! So I got two great stories. All right, be gone. Let me tell you. She reminded me. So check this out. So the other day we had someone come to look at our house. We're thinking about maybe relocating, or we're just checking things out, right? And so that was it, Shauna. That was exactly it. So this woman is going, and checking out the house, and then she comes in my room and goes, "Oh my God, my husband is the biggest Colt Ford fan. Oh my God, he would just die."
I didn't know what to say.
And I'm in the other room helping my daughter in the bathroom, and I'm hearing this, and I'm going, "Oh God, here we go." And so yeah, but she was cool, right? She was cool. And then I'm going to send a shout out to Juan. Juan watches the channel. And the other day, yesterday, we were in Dade City, right? We went and we just happened to stumble upon a street fair. So we're walking down this street fair. All of a sudden, I hear this woman, "Oh my God! Oh my God! It's you! It's you!" And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "My husband watches you show every day. Oh my God!" And she was literally screaming. And I was like, "That's cool, dude." And so we took a picture, right? Gave the old thumbs up, and then I said, "Let me shoot a video message to Juan." So I shot a video. "Hey, dude, where are you? If you next time we'll party, or something." And so that was the deal, man. It was pretty wild. That's within the last couple of days. Gave her a towel, a scarf. I'm gonna have to. She said, I totally recognize you. And I was like, "Okay, well that means I have to start wearing a hat and sunglasses." But anyway, man, how is everybody doing tonight? P-Funk said about 7 coffees. Be honest, tonight feels like a 2 Red Bull night, and I don't think I have 2 Red Bulls. And so, thank you. Yeah, Shauna, my hair grows very, very fast. First day of spring in Montreal, Villain. Now look, I don't know if we've had any good questions. And now I'm in beast family mode. Ricky Lane said, "Yeah, look, man, you can't live that lifestyle for long. You can't live up to your own reputation. I mean, and so at some point it had to end. I took it serious. I lived it. I did everything that I wanted to do, and met my wife, on the road on one of my close to the end of my run on that gig at a club here in Florida, a place called the Roundup. It's no longer in business, but yeah. Bell says, "Why do you think so many good YouTubers have a performing background?" Well, I think good YouTubers are good and are doing well because they do have a performing background. You excel at this if you're able to coherently state something, tell a great story, keep the dead air to a minimum, and put your stuff out there. And so, if you have a performing background, being a front man for a rock band is prime experience for doing this. And you just have to find your niche. And that's why some people that are good performers, don't maybe get the subscribers and stuff, because they haven't figured out what their thing is, or maybe they're focused on the wrong thing. So Villain Trolinsky says, where to get the best list of public domain music and prevent copyright strikes? Okay. I would search any song that you want to post, and don't do a remake. Copy a more modern version to copy something, because that could be copywritten too. If you want to do something that's not public, that's in the public domain, then search public domain. The problem with public domain songs is they're ancient, and you can't even find an Elvis song that's public domain. All of that stuff is still copywritten. So, what do you do, man? Here's the deal. I'm thankful now that I can write my own music and come up with my own riffs, and I don't have to do play other people's songs. I'm happy that I don't have to do that. Brad P Funk says, I'm seriously thinking of taking up mime. P Funk, I think that's an excellent idea. I think you should mime on YouTube. Gregory says he likes watching Justin Hawkins' YouTube channel and didn't care about The Darkness. Well, see, I liked The Darkness when they first came out. I thought it was a shot in the arm of some classic, almost glam like metal. And I enjoy his channel pretty good. I don't watch it all the time. But I do. I like what the guy has to say. I've always liked the Dark. I think the first Darkness album is a good, solid rock and roll album. I just didn't stick with them long after that. But they're a great band, man. Public domain and replace God. Yeah, Villain. I don't know about that. I've ever gotten involved with a Guitar Mafia collaboration. I don't know anything about that. Giveaway between 4 different YouTuber channels. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't remember. SV, it might even be 100 years. It might be 99. I don't even know what it is, man. Here's the thing. And I've looked up a few songs. I thought about doing, I wanted to do How Great Thou Art one Sunday morning. I just wanted to open and sing How Great Thou Art. And it's not in the public domain. There's a hymn, and I'm going to either copyright share. I'm going to have to share almost all the revenue, or get a strike, which is even more frightening. But Amazing Grace, on the other hand, Amazing Grace is in the public domain. Now, that's a song that everybody knows. So you just have to Google it, man. That's really all it is. And look, man, you don't know whether you're going to get a strike or you're going to get sharing or what. And look, man, I think the people that write these songs and stuff should get the money. They should just have it set up. They shouldn't do strikes. They should just pay the people that have a legitimate claim. Just give them their cut. Jerron Thunder says, hey, Bad Brad, Philadelphia, PA here. What's the most people you played to crowd size? Jay Iron Thunder, I did an interview with, I believe it's Richard Dukeshire on my channel, and he took some photos of a concert I played up in Canada, and I think he said it was 35 to 40,000 people there. That was a sea of people. I remember that day, man. That was a wild day. Our drummer and our front man coming in a helicopter, a break in the rain. They come out, they mop the stage, and boom, that photographer was there, and he captured this really cool shot of me playing this guitar, this weird mutant Telecaster in front of 30 or 40,000 people. The Texplorer, let's see, and I thought it had something, but yeah, this unique guitar, which was something that I wanted. I wanted a Telecaster that rocked. I wanted something that was, like a Van Halenized Telecaster. And so that's probably the biggest crowd that I ever played for. And this is a cool guitar, man. So yeah, that answers that question. And here's the thing, man. It's not me making up that I'm playing. There's an interview with the guy who was there. There's photos from the concert. So look, man, it adds the credibility factor to this channel. And that's what I'm all about, man. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not Dan Huff. I'm not Tim Pierce. I'm not Tom Bukovac. I'm just Bad Brad, a guy who liked to have a good time and got to do some cool stuff, man. And so we're here tonight on this Saturday night. And are we having fun yet? That would be the question. What if you're on the road and you have a medical emergency? You might not have time to go to the ER as you have to get to the next gig. Bucky, that's a tough question, dude. And I look, man, most of the time, we've had guys have to go to the hospital because they got really sick. And I've seen guys. We had a tour manager with Trick Pony. We had this guy, and we were out drinking on a day off or something. And he crossed the road and he tripped on the median and landed his face and his nose. He split his face from here all the way up, and his eyes were both black on both sides. And he had to go get his whole nose stitched up. I mean, all we were going to do was get off the tour bus and go walk to the nice pub that was across from the bus. It could, it's like, dude, that's some of the best times you have on the road is when you have a night off and the bus is parked across from some pub. And so, and the people in the pub are like, oh, you guys are in that famous band. And it ends up usually being like an amazing evening. And he screwed himself up. So he had to go get stitched, go to the hospital. The rest of us stayed and drank at the pub. I've never had an emergency happen where something had to be canceled or we weren't able to get the bus going in time to get to the next gig. That's just pure luck. So that's a great question. Let's see. Going to say like and subscribe even though I'm just a subscriber. Impish, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody who likes and subscribes. We've got 80 some people in here tonight. And look, man, we're at what, 27,400 subscribers. We're on our way to 28. If you have not subscribed to the channel, do it. It's absolutely free, dude. It's totally free. Man, the Red Bull is going down. Bad Brad, I'll know if he has to go to the ER first. Our God is an awesome God. That is a good song. Did you hear the new Stone song yet? I think it was supposed to come out today. Shane, that's a great question. I have not. Makes me wonder. The Stones have been working with this Andrew Watt guy. How much is he playing on the tracks? Is he playing guitar on these tracks? I don't know, dude. Look, the last Stones album I may have bought that was a newish album was probably Emotional Rescue. That was probably after Emotional Rescue. I was probably started getting heavy into the hard rock and the Van Halens and stuff like that. And I just, just moved on sonically. But we did. Me and P-Funk went to the Steel Wheels tour. So we were still Stones fans, but it just wasn't like investing in the album wasn't so much the issue. The issue was just go to see the Stones because you're seeing the Stones. But the albums, man, and I think Emotional Rescue was a decent album. I think that's a decent album. It's got some weird stuff on it, but Down in the Hole on Emotional Rescue, that's a good song. She's So Cold, that song rocks. Let's see. Keith Richards' ballad is pretty, man. It's pretty gut wrenching. And what is the other? Emotional Rescue is an okay song. It's all right. It's kind of weird. It's kind of it's a dance record, as Rhonda says. But man, so that's somebody says, Bucky says, I noticed tour buses have U-Hauls. Does the equipment stay with the band at all times? Bucky, that's a great question. Generally, the trailer, bands might be using U-Hauls now, but I know we had our own trailer. So we pulled a trailer that was attached to the tour bus. So all the equipment, whether it's the mixing desk, the guitars, the drum set, the risers, maybe some of the lights, if you've got some of those weird like LED lights, your amps, pedal boards, all of that stuff, and the merch, which is probably the most important cargo on there, all of that is in the trailer. And then the bus is just luggage, beer, booze, band, crew, all that on driver, all that on one. So, yeah, man. So we got another question. Did you check out the new Rush jam? I saw a little bit of it. I thought it was cool. I mean, you know, it was cool. I think people will enjoy that tour. I think they'll do a good job. And having supplemental people, I don't have a problem when a band adds a keyboard player or some backup vocalist, especially when you're, hell, I'm almost 60. Those guys are probably mid 70s. So that's the deal. Sadie Lamp Duo says we used a U-Haul trailer. Knew nothing about it. Was a good performance. Aging, yeah. Rhonda says she knows nothing about aging. Skinner got all their equipment stolen when they were starting out. K-Dog, that's the dangerous thing about those trailers. If you're parked somewhere, a lot. But look, man, the level of security for a touring band with a bus, the locks, and stuff. That's why we'd have our own trailer. That thing would be, double and triple locked. It's not just a standard U-Haul. People know how to like get in a U-Haul pretty quick. If you've got your own trailer, then you've got your. And here's the thing, man. The only way to really for these guys to really do it is to take the whole trailer and don't think that that's not locked down to the max because you can't even get to the smaller stuff because all the big stuff is in there. So that's the deal. Paula says the new Stone song called Foreign Tongue hit YouTube 2 days ago. That's interesting. I just wonder how much is it the producer and Mick, and how much is it actually Ron Wood? And I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm just. It's tough, man. It's tough putting out new music. DA, what's happening, brother? Oh, I'm knocking that back. It's finito, Mussolino. So another times have changed. Yes, Rhonda, absolutely. So, man, we're having a good time tonight. We got 77. Here's a question from Bucky. It says, if the crowd is rude and the band stops the show, can the band get in trouble for canceling the show? Bucky, if you don't fulfill the contractual obligations of the show, yes, you can get in trouble. Yes, you can be fined. All of that is, at that level, it's all under contract. And here's the thing, man. I've never been in a situation where people are booing look, man, people are paying money to go to these shows. And as long as you go out there and rock out and give them their money's worth, people are enjoy. It's easy to, be with a bunch of ringers from Nashville and drive to North Dakota and rock people's balls off. It's easy to do that. And they don't, maybe the local acts, they don't get to see tons of local acts. So it's easy to go and rock these places. The only time when you wouldn't continue a show is if there's thunder and lightning or unsafe conditions or a gunshot, life-threatening situations. That's the only time when something would be shut down, or if a light truss came down. If it's something like that, man, they might want you to stop the show. I've never been in a situation where we played short. Here's the subtle thing that'll happen. If a crowd, and I'm not saying everybody does this, and I'm not even saying like acts that I played with do this, but I know this from just being a guy that's played a lot of gigs. If the audience is into it and they're applauding and they're a great audience and all that, the band doesn't mind giving you extra. The band doesn't mind playing a few minutes over. The band doesn't mind giving an encore if the audience is great. If the audience stinks and has a bad attitude, the band is going to play right up until the time when their time slot is done. They're going to finish, say thank you very much, and walk off. But here's the other thing. If you're an opening act, you have a set time. You go on at exactly that time, and you finish at exactly that time, and you get your stuff the hell off the stage as fast as possible. So there's really not a lot of time for nonsense. I think in the past, being an opening act, maybe being a country act opening for a metal act or something like that, that could be a precarious situation. But you don't find yourself in that kind of situation. They usually book acts that are compatible and people are going to be happy with it. They want people to like the opening act. The opening act helps sell tickets. So, and in some cases you get bands like Guns N' Roses opening for Aerosmith, and a lot of people might have been there to see Guns N' Roses more than Aerosmith at the time. They were a hot band at that time. So, yeah, that's the deal. It says the Who is still going, but it's Pete and Roger. Yeah, that's been like that for a while, man. Since Entwistle passed, it's just been Pete and Roger, and there's acts out now with no original members. Look, man, if they want to play, if they can legally go out there and do that. A gig is a gig. Somebody recently posted on Twitter. They posted Sugar Ray, the band Sugar Ray. Remember those guys? They used to be called the Shrinky Dinks. They used to play the Sunset Strip. I think the month that Shock was on the cover of Rock City News, I think the next issue had the Shrinky Dinks on it with Mark McGrath. They go way back. And they just recently, people were calling them out on Twitter saying, "Oh, look how far Sugar Ray's fallen. They're playing some theme park or something." It's like, dude, a gig is a gig. And look, man, a gig like that, sometimes those gigs like that are the best ones, that you might only have to play an hour. They might have a really nice backstage. It's air conditioned and a full spread and all this. And people are like shaming them for playing this gig. And ultimately, dude, if you're still working, if you're still playing, there's no shame in that, man. A gig is a gig. It doesn't matter whether you're playing for 20-year-olds or 80-year-olds. If you love what you're doing and you agree, you sign the contract, and you travel to the venue, go play the gig, man, and have a good time. That's the deal. There's Scott saying he had a friend's band in Memphis that had their trailer stolen. Man, that trailer is getting stolen. That happens a lot. I have not heard of any major like Nashville acts having that problem. At least not when I was out there. And maybe they're using different lock system. They probably have tracking on the trailers, all of that stuff. Did you ever request anything crazy backstage? A bowl of red M&Ms. Bucky, that's a great question, but largely at the level that I was at, we had a rider, right? But you know, the tour manager would kind of be like, what do you guys like to drink? Well, we like PBR. Okay, well, me and the bass player want to drink PBR after the gig. Okay, well, I'll put PBR. They'll put PBR on our rider. Give us a case of PBR, if you can get that. If not, Coors Light or Coors Regular. Uh, and we need a bottle of Fireball, and we need 2 bottles of Jack Daniels and M&Ms and whatever else, and chips, all that kind of nonsense. 2 pizzas after the show, all of that stuff. We didn't really we weren't at the level where we were able to ask for outrageous stuff. So requesting something crazy backstage, it was just like, here's the thing. What you get, the crazy thing that you get backstage is you get more beer and more booze every single night. And it's never ending. There's always a beer in that never ending cooler in the front of the bus. You reach in, it's filled with ice, and it's just ice cold isopropyls. Now, I don't drink beer anymore, but man, we used to knock them back, dude. We used to really knock them back. Delicious. Dragon says, any tips for a small band that just got signed to a major record label and is also going worldwide in a fast pace? Dragon, keep your head about you. Don't fall into the traps. Man, keep your head on a swivel. Try to stay together as a band. And write the best songs that you can write. But sell a lot of merch, dude. That's the best advice that I can give you, man. You guys drank 300 in beer. You owe me 100, K-Dog. Yeah, that's a funny scene. Here's the thing, man. That's the one thing about the backstage rider is, man, we would get cases of beer every night. And it's free. It's free. Paula says it's got to be tough for the non-drinkers touring on the road. Paula, it's tough for the drinkers when you go, man, I need to take a break. When I'm off the road, dude, I wouldn't drink. But being out on the road, it's just like everybody's drinking, and it's like you hear them drinking in the front lounge, and then you can't get to sleep, and so you go, all right, give me a beer. And if you try to take a night off, it's like peer pressure, dude. It's tough, man, and so it's hard on everybody trying to keep up with everybody's stuff, man. So what else we got? We've got breaks, dude. Dave, I would try to go. And here's the deal. Oftentimes I would start a leg of a tour and go, okay, I'm going to be chill, and I'm just going to go to bed after the show and all that. And then, 4 days in, then you're back to your usual ways. So Bucky is saying, did you ever meet Dimebag? No, I did not meet Dimebag. We were playing somewhere in I think it was California somewhere. And some of the guys saw Vinny out on the road. They went to get sandwiches or something after sound check, and they saw Vinny at a place. We saw Wolfgang Van Halen in a airport. This was back when he was playing with Van Halen at that time. So did you ever? Yeah. So no, wasn't. Unfortunately, I believe Dime was already passed when I was out with Colt Ford. I believe so. Be thankful for any gig and still give it your all. Scott Petrie, absolutely, dude. Chris Alexander says he met Dime 4 times. Coolest dude ever. You are extremely lucky, Chris. Dimebag Darrell was sort of my blueprint for the Colt Ford gig. I couldn't figure out, like, vocally, I'm gonna belt like Elvis, and when it's time for me to solo, I'm gonna go out there and go crazy like Dimebag. And that was my blueprint for Elvis meets Dimebag. So man, I listened to a lot of Pantera when I was out with Colt Ford, just trying to trying to figure out like, what my role in that band was. And I think it worked. I think people liked it. But Mike Holmes says he bumped into Nico McBrain on his way to lunch. That is an incredible story, dude. Make sure you bring enough clean underwear and shower when out on the road. Yes. Underwear and socks are probably the most important thing. You could probably get by with your jeans, but here's the thing, man. If you're performing and sweating your ass off every night, those clothes get destroyed, dude. I would have shirts that just, you could, even if you washed it, the sweat in the shirts, you just, it's like you have to just throw those shirts away. I gave away a bunch of my stage shirts. My wife was like cleaning that. She goes through these things where she just gets rid of stuff. She gave them all to a buddy of mine in Nashville. I've got maybe one or two stage shirts still. But it is what it is, man. I don't wear it's not wife friendly clothing. Let's just put it that way. So that's the deal. Well, we are at the almost hour-long mark. We'll maybe wrap it up for tonight. Get ready to take your shirt off when playing The House Lights Get Hot. Dragon Balls, I was a few decades past the point of being shirtless on stage. In my 20s, when me and P-Funk were playing on stage, yeah, I would go shirtless. But I think once you hit 30, some people can pull it off. For me, that's the deal. Gregory, thanks you so much. I don't go to therapy, but I definitely do look for these backstage shows on Saturday night. Gregory, you are absolutely amazing. And look, man, you guys keep this channel going, and it's absolutely incredible. And man, I got to salute Paul, Gregory, David, Mike H., Erickson, Rhonda, Bucky, Shauna, Impish Little Centaur for being here, Bucky Crittenden, and Chris Alexander. Look, man, these shows go by super fast now. It's like not even a thing. And look, I need to, at some point, we need to do some members only live streams. So you guys, the members, maybe let me know what's a good time to do that. We've held it probably the same amount of members, around 135, 138 members for a while now. I'm gonna try to step it up. There's almost 70 videos for members only right now. And if you can subscribe to the channel, it helps the channel out greatly. Always remember to hit the thumbs up button. Always remember, yes, Gregory, the Velvet Hammer Club is available I believe it's available to sign up now, but I've really got to expand the material, and I'll do an official announcement when I've got like what I feel like is a good amount of material. And this will be a fun concept. Oh, wow. Great tip from Villain. What is the best musical style to get the best respect and money ratio per audience? Mean little show, correct money. Best musical style to get the best respect and money ratio per audience. Look, man, I've said this a lot, and I was thinking about this today, dude. Playing in a corporate band, being able to play weddings, it's way harder than playing an arena gig. I know everybody gets excited about a dude going out hitting power chords and playing some Dwada Dita licks, but the skill level required to go play everything from jazz to funk to rock to country, all in one, sometimes in the same set. The skill level to do that is much harder. And I was just thinking today, man, I had $1,000 day doing 2 gigs. I got up and I did a noon to 4 and made $500. And on the way to the next gig, swung by the house, hopped in the shower, rinsed off again, put a little fresh deodorant on, put a clean shirt on, drove straight out to Murfreesboro. So the first gig was in Nashville, I believe, at the Belmead Plantation. Or no, it was at the Belmead Country Club, I believe, right across from where Amy Grant and Vince Gill live. Then drive out to Murfreesboro. It was like on some school grounds or something. It was some either alumni or parent teacher or something kind of school event. And that paid another $500. So that's $1,000 Saturday. And way more money than I made, being out on the road playing rock star. So, that kind of money, dude, that's nothing to sneeze at. People don't realize that there is serious money that you can make playing music, but it wouldn't be maybe a touring gig. You're not going to make you could make $1,000 a day if you were a big name. Like probably a guy like Bukovac or somebody like that. When he did the Ann Wilson gig, he might have been getting 1,000 or even more. I don't know. I know my price has gone up. So if I ever got a chance to do something like that, I would have to get paid. But most sidemen guys are unknown guys. The star is the guy on the bill, and so you get sideman pay. So you're talking about getting paid the most amount of money, be able to play everything. You want to make the most amounts of money that you can, be able to play whatever the hell they want, and that will make you more versatile, and you'll be able to do more stuff. So we are at the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. It's been an amazing evening. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to hit the heart over here. You guys have been absolutely amazing. This thing rocks. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to put out an epic walk and talk on the channel. This will be at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. Join me in the chat for that. You guys friggin' rock. And we will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody. Peace.